Everyone has their own goals, and it is through the guidance of these goals that we can discover our true selves. Those without goals can become lost on the journey of life, unable to grasp the essence of life. A beggar with only one hand came to a monastery and asked the abbot for alms. The abbot pointed to a pile of bricks in front of the monastery and said, "Help me move these bricks to the backyard." The beggar became angry and said, "I have only one hand, how can I do that? If you don't want to give, just say so. Why play tricks on people?" Without saying a word, the abbot picked up a brick with one hand and said, "This is something that can be done with just one hand." The beggars had no choice but to use one hand to start moving the bricks. It took him 2 hours to move all the bricks. The abbot handed him some silver coins, and the beggar, grateful, said, "Thank you." The abbot replied, "You don't need to thank me, you earned this money yourself." The beggar said, "I won't forget you," and after bowing deeply to the abbot, he continued on his way. Many days later, another beggar arrived at the monastery. The abbot took him to the backyard and pointed to the pile of bricks, saying, "Move the bricks to the front, and I will give you silver coins." However, this beggar, who had both hands, looked disdainful and walked away. Perplexed, one of the disciples asked the abbot, "Last time, you had the beggar move the bricks from the front to the back, and this time, you want them moved from the back to the front. Are you trying to decide where the bricks should be placed?" The abbot replied, "Whether the bricks are in the front or the back doesn't matter, what matters is whether the beggar chooses to move them or not." Several years later, a well-dressed man came to the monastery. He had an impressive demeanor, but the only drawback was that he had only one left hand. It turned out that he was the beggar from years ago who had moved the bricks with one hand. Since the abbot had him move the bricks, he had found his own worth and, through his own efforts, had achieved success. The beggar with both hands, on the other hand, remained a beggar. A person should possess two fundamental qualities, the ability to work with their own hands and the capacity to think with their own mind. However, if we look around or examine our surroundings, do we find that everyone possesses these two basic qualities?